so the next one that we're going to do is the Lowell System, and the Lowell System is one of the most important things on this page. It's been essay prompts, it's on every single year, so if you will double start the Lowell System so that you can make sure to remember that that's the most important one to know on this entire page. So basically what happens is there was this guy, his name was Samuel Slater. He went over to England and found out how they were running their textile mills. And he noticed that they were running their textile mills using water power and placed them next to rivers. He took the idea and brought it into America. So textile mills, which is in the second line underneath cause, if you'll highlight the textile mills, is that basically what happened is that the textile mills become really famous in the United States. However, they originally did child labor. And that was a huge problem because they didn't want to be able to have child labor. So instead they switched to the Lowell System. And you can start the effect category because that summarizes what I'm about to say. So basically what happened is with the Lowell System, the first thing that this did is it began to move textile manufacturing, sewing, things like that, away from the home. So if you see where it says cause, if you go ahead and star that cause, this was the movement towards the separation of public and private spheres, which if you want to highlight, this is called the separate spheres ideology. Basically, instead of having your manufacturing in the home, now it's in the factory, which separates the home from the factory system. And basically this begins to create the private spheres of the home versus the more industrial spheres outside of the home. And what this did is this began to move manufacturing from, if you will highlight, cottage industries, which are businesses inside the home, think of that like an Etsy, to large-scale manufacturing in various factories. And so now homes become for homemaking versus the factories that become the place of business. Now this was really important because it was male-dominated, however, it used females. So this is the third to last in the Lowell System. Go ahead and star that. Basically what happened is that it was male-dominated, but females began to work there. So this is the movement away from child labor. So what they did is that they would come, and this is called industrial paternalism, which is a starred term on your paper. What they would do is the owner would show up at your house, your dad's house, and they would say, we want you to work for us. We're going to treat them like family. So that's what industrial paternalism is. If you want to highlight, this was the idea that businesses treat each other like family. And he would say, I'm going to make sure your daughter has the cult of domesticity and grows up the right way. So what they would do, so you can see in this image, this is the river, so the river-powered mill. You can see these are the mills right here. And this around here is actually the boarding school. So if you want to put next to the industrial paternalism, this is the boarding school. In the boarding school, this is where you would live away from your family. It gives them independence. However, they have to abide by rules. You have to be in by a certain time. You have to read the Bible once a day. You have to go to church on Sundays. All these different things to make sure that your parents felt like you were still being taught the right way to be able to live. And this industrial paternalism thing is still something that continues today. It's the idea of treating your company like family. So the impact on women, if you want to bracket that and star it, that second one is the most important, and especially if you want to highlight the escape from the cult of domesticity.